Yo,
Yo,
how yous all doing?
what's going on? Big Kevin, Entertainment Headquarters. What's up, brother?
I'm very well, thank you. Welcome to, like you said, the Entertainment Headquarters, and welcome to our very special review. And it is for two particular films that I am a huge fan of, and so is Mr. Preston, That Phat Samurai Guy, and of course they are The Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman.
Yeah, eye for an eye. I got the Soulfly song in my head. Eye
Yes.
for an eye. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Good stuff.
Yeah. So
thanks again for having me.
Oh, more than welcome.
Yeah.
I've wanted you back on the channel for quite some time, so I'm so glad that you could make it.
Yes, and you've been on fire, son. That's right. You guys over there at the Entertainment Headquarters are kicking ass and taking all of the names. That's right. That's right. All awesome content over there, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying my best to get up there, like I say, like you, but I have got a great inspiration, and it is you yourself, my friend.
Oh shit! We got royalty showing up here. Action royalty, Film Combat Syndicate. What's up, Lee? How you doing, brother?
Hello.
Who am I?
Welcome. So, as always, it's great to have you, like we see on the channel. The two films that we're about to view, I had seen a trailer for the first one a while back, and I never had the opportunity to view it.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, thanks to Well Go USA and of course HI-YAH, they're killing it, man. Lately, they're absolutely killing it with all of the content. It's great that we've got a company that's allowing us to see these amazing action martial art movies that we don't get to see very often here in the US, or quite frankly, up to them, weren't getting the justice or the promotion that they deserved. And I'm from the UK. We still don't really have a company that's doing it for us right now, but hopefully we'll get a higher UK in the pipeline down in the future. But because of HI-YAH, I had the pleasure of being able to finally view this movie, and I was absolutely blown away. Absolutely blown away. So when you first heard of course, Eye for an Eye, The Blind Set, what was your initial reaction when you first heard and seen it?
I hated it, man. It was the worst. I was like, Jesus Christ, can I watch Dragon Ball Evolution, please? Could you put Dragon Ball Evolution on instead? No. No, so I was right there with you. I saw the Well Go USA trailer, and I was like, "Oh my god, Zatoichi or some shape or form."
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of straight away.
Katsu has returned, and I was just like, "Oh my god, I got to watch this." And I loved the movie. He was blown away by it, and it just shows the quality of the straight to streaming movies they got going on over there. Oh. I mean, this is what, 76 minutes, short and sweet.
Yeah.
And for a small budget movie, it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Cinematography is great.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely amazing cinematography. And it doesn't actually feel like 77 minutes. It feels a lot longer. And I think it's because you're that sucked into the story and the characters that we get introduced to, that you instantly, it just appeals to you. Well, it did for me anyway.
For sure. Yeah. But what I love about this version of the Blind Swordsman is that because Katsu's Zatoichi character was very beloved. You love the guy. He was hilarious. You wanted to give him a little noogie. You wanted to give him a hug. You want to eat rice balls with him. You wanted to dance. You wanted to party with him. Just don't mess with him, because then you'll cut your head off. But this
that
version,
is very true.
yeah, in this movie, he is a bounty hunter. I mean, that's like, what? Like, blind swordsman bounty hunter. And I was like, oh shit, he rode the horse and everything. He don't give a fuck, you know. But
yeah. So with that said, let's get into it and talk about the blind swordsman.
Let's do it.
So where is it? This phone is getting on my nerves, people. I have a new phone and I'm just getting used to it. Every time I tap,
$5,000 phone Kevin's working with over there.
I wish I had that kind of money. If I do have that money, he behind us is eating it all up.
Well, it's Godzilla, you know. He takes all our money. Anyway, look at that. Lee, while you're fiddling with your phone there, Lee says that the second is better than the first. There needs to be a third. Yeah, so we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get to our thoughts on that one. Yeah.
There is a bit of a spoiler, which I think we may talk about at the end of the first one.
Is he or is he not? There you go. We'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah,
I think he is, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's up to the viewer. Yes. What you think happens.
So, eye for an eye. Oh, my stupid phone! I will be there. It always, nothing goes to plan when you do this live.
It's all good.
Whenever I plan stuff and it's not live, I have no issues. And then soon as I fly,
it happens to the best of us, Kevin. You know, I'll interview people on the podcast, and all of a sudden I'll get removed from my own podcast that I'm hosting. I'm like, wait, I just popped out. Like, how did I get popped out of my own podcast that I'm hosting? And then I gotta jump back in. So it's all good. Mic issues, audio issues. It happens. It's fine. Yeah.
So
just keep it, like Frank Jang says, keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Absolutely. And that's what I intend to do. Yeah. So this is the plot synopsis for The Blind Samurai, or should we say Eye for an Eye, The Blind Swordsman. The story focuses on visually impaired but nonetheless lethal bounty hunter Cheng, who happens upon the assaultant Ni Yan, the lone survivor of a brutal family massacre that claimed a whole family. Blind Chen, a registered bounty hunter of the Board of Punishments, has a battle within himself whether to intervene and to help the very scared and very vulnerable Ni Yan. Chen is then involved into a struggle with the darkness forces and steps on the road of justice, seeking revenge.
Now we're cooking.
This film, at first, did kind of confuse us right at the beginning, because it's like the beginning of this movie is like the present, and then it does like a reversal. It does like a flashback.
Right.
Yeah. So the beginning of this movie, you just see Chen, and he's like sitting in like this rotten little gambling hall, and he's playing like a game, and he meets these bunch of gamblers, and he basically gets cheated at the beginning out of like his winnings, out of money, but then he kind of figures what's going on, and he wins his money, and the owner of the establishment's like, you keep playing, sir, all's good. But then when he leaves the establishment and it's like a very dark, gloomy night, the actual owner of the establishment and his little goony henchman decides to ambush him and try to steal his money.
Did you say gooey henchman?
Yes, goony. Oh. Goony, these little goony henchmen. I don't like goony little henchmen.
Okay, goony. Okay.
So
like
the Goonies, but not the good Goonies. So he's goony little henchman, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, wham, bam, bam, he's not as vulnerable as he appears to be.
Yeah.
As he becomes this badass that goes around and he just takes them out one by one and knocks them down. And then this is where you start to ask them questions where a certain individual is. And that's when it suddenly flashes back to the events prior that led up to that incident.
Yeah.
And when you first meet Chen in the flashback, he's basically just walking the streets of this city. And then he comes, he has something in his hand, and it's like that. He's got that long stick that he uses to help to navigate through the streets.
Yeah.
And as he's going through the streets and navigating his way through them, he comes across this lovely little scenic, idyllic, outdoor restaurant. It's got all of what you can imagine. It's got just beautiful architecture, tables. You've got this young, beautiful woman who is basically just setting up the area for her eventual wedding.
Right. Yeah.
And, he just wants it. But then the reason he's come to this area, because he smells the wine. Because he's very much like myself. He likes a good glass of wine or a jug or two.
That's right. Nothing wrong with that.
And then, so he sees the wine, and then she's a bit hesitant with him. But then as he walks into the area, there's a lot of other interesting people there, the citizens of this town. And the next thing you know, as he's drinking the wine, this other individual comes who I first thought, well, is this going to be the initiation of the first bad guy? Because you kind of see him in the shadows watching what's going on with this big sword on his back.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, as he's sitting there and he's watching this giant sword on his back, he approaches, and the people are just looking very mystified, very shocked, very nervous, and they decide to leave the festivities of the wedding. And it turns out he's not a villain at all. He's the brother of the bride. But he must have a reputation. But the only one that doesn't decide to leave the wedding is, of course, Chen. He's by this time, he's 3 sheets to the wind. After having about four jugs of wine. And
a couple of Steve Weisers,
Yes. A couple of 316 beers. He then kind of goes off and finds a corner and falls asleep next to his horse that apparently doesn't eat vegetables but only eats meat.
Yeah.
Which I found hilarious, that he's got a meat-eating horse.
Yeah.
Which, that's his little horse there.
Yeah.
That's his little sidekick buddy.
He's so good. I'm gonna butcher the name. I think it's HI-YAH is so good in this part.
Yeah.
Lee. Yes. This is what everyone wants. Damn it, make it happen. But yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Yeah, he's so good in this role. I mean, he was the little kid in the 2 Jet Li movies.
Yes.
My Father is a Hero and New Legend of Shaolin, and now he's all grown up, and
he's
and so
did
good.
Did he not do the IP Man Legends?
Yes. He did the Awakening or something like that. Ip Man, the Awakening.
Ip Man. I knew he did one of them. He did one of them.
He was good in that movie, but there was issues with that movie. I had.
Yeah. Thankfully, I have not seen that movie as of yet.
You could pass. Watch Hunt the Wicked. Hunt the Wicked instead.
I'm very interested to see how they're going to go back and do the 5th one, which is, the Donnie Yen is doing a 5th one apparently.
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. At this point, we're really watching these movies for the fight scenes,
Yeah,
not really the story.
yeah.
At this point,
I still think the very first one was the best.
it's still the best. It still
Yeah,
is.
100%. The first one
Sure.
cannot be beaten.
No.
But after he falls asleep,
hmm
oh,
Yes, it
he,
was the awakening. Okay.
there was the awakening. Thank you. After, of course, he falls asleep with his meat-eating horse. Suddenly, as the brother's sitting there, these really shady-looking guys turn up to the wedding, and they have a confrontation with the brother. And there's this little dude who's not a very nice dude.
Yeah, the
Who's
archer.
like, he's like the archer, he's like the leader. Mind, I got very confused because when I watched this in the second one, I thought it was the same guy. Is the villain, because they look very, very similar. This is the villain of the second movie, and I thought it was the exact same guy. I thought, well, has he got a twin brother? Did I miss something? Is that why it's called Blind Vengeance? Because but then I realized he's not blind.
I'm surprised they didn't go with that. Twin brother wants revenge, but we'll get to the second one later.
Yes. So when Archer Dude and his gang turn up, they obviously confront the brother, like the bride's brother, and it ends up where they get into a confrontation, and the bride's brother is brutally killed. I mean, the guy with the hooks for hands.
Yeah.
Them particular scenes were just amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Hook hand man. He was brilliant. And then the next thing, after he's killed, and then it's clearly you kind of get the gist of what happens to the poor bride, just like dragged up this little staircase into this cloudy, shady room, and you can imagine what happens. When all said and done, somebody passes the winery, I believe, and he comes out of the winery now the next day or in the middle of the night. He's a bit not well for wear, so he's a bit hungover. But as he staggers down the steps, he comes across the bride just laid out on like a table on the outside, and he kind of feels and gets the atmosphere and the gist of what's happened.
Yeah.
And because of that, he ends up, of course, going to speak to one of the authority figures and tells them what's happened. They then go and investigate. But at the end of the day, they choose not to do anything because they realize the people that are behind this heinous crime are actually connected to a very powerful crime family.
Yeah.
And that, really, antagonizes the bride, who wants justice, who wants, something done. But then she obviously also realizes that the blind swordsman is more than he seems, because she kind of seen him like in action earlier on with how he can operate with his hands, and she knows he's not just this feeble little blind man. He has real powerful skills.
Not a bone breaking in this movie.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen this much bone breaking since Tony Jaa's The Protector at the end.
Yeah. He's just absolutely brilliant.
Let's bring that back, Kevin. More bone breaking in martial arts movies. Let's go.
Well, I think we'll get in martial art movies. That's not a problem. But in the world of the Disney era, we're fucked. You're not going to get much of that in American cinema. They'll see that. I did recently go see A Working Man, which was really good.
A Working Man.
So Jason Statham, he just needs to add a bus driver to his resume, the cleaner,
the florist,
the bin man.
The bin man.
You just need to add. Yes, well, They're what we would call our rubbish collectors in the UK. We call them the dustmen, the bin men.
The bin, yeah. What did Rick call? Rick called the working man, aka what was it? Jason Statham #9. That's what he called the movie.
Yes.
So we look forward to Jason Statham #10.
Yes. So up to this point, Phat Samurai, what's your opinion of the events that's transpired? And so far, like just right in there, I would say the first 10 minutes, the great action that we're given.
Yeah, rest in peace, Val Kilmer. Everyone's watching Tombstone now.
Yeah.
And the beginning of Tombstone kind of reminds me of this movie where they're having the wedding and things do not go well, not even for the priest. In Tombstone. So a great action movie, martial arts movie, or genre film, you got to have villains that you want to just reach through the fucking screen and just choke them out. Choke them out, goddammit. They want to, you want to, just, they get you riled up, You just want to beat the shit out of these dudes. Oh, look at this. Fancy schmancy over here. You're going to have to show me how you did that. Look at that. Wow.
Yes, I sure will.
Kevin is on the rise.
I just realized, I just caught it at the call now and, oh shit, I haven't added the professional background for my special guest.
Yeah, professional. Way more professional than me. I mean, look at that.
No, you are killing it.
But great villains. Villains you really want to hate. Those are always the best. There's nothing worse for action and martial arts movie with generic, bland, forgettable villains. It kind of ruins it, Does anyone remember the villain from Quantum of Solace? Go.
The room is spoken.
Does anyone remember? But yeah, that's a good example. I like to use.
So, but that's what I liked about these. The villains, you love to hate them.
Oh, especially with this one. We'll get to that. It's even worse in the next one. But we'll get to that.
Right off the bat, the first few minutes of the second one, I wanted that.
Oh yeah.
That son of a bitch to die. I really did. He was a piece of work. The second one's a much better. Is like for villain wise, a stronger story and a worse villain, which is great. The fact that they could follow it up with that.
We'll get to that.
Yes. So at this point, she is begging the blind samurai Chen to basically save, get vengeance on the death of her family. So what ends up happening is he refuses. He just wants to get away from it all. But obviously he speaks to, I guess, the town inspector of the events that are transpiring around. And the inspector's like, I'm not touching it with a barge pole because I know where it leads. I know who's involved. And when he goes to the police station and he's basically insisting, he had like a bag on the back of the horse and it kept moving. And you were like, what the hell's the bag moving for? And then it turns out it had a person in the bag. Who for some reason didn't die starvation or, hydration. It was kept in this bag for hours on end, overnight with no food, no water, somehow survived. Next thing you know, boom, the head pops out of this bag of this person he's had. In the bag, the person in the bag looks up because what happens is when he takes his bag with this person in, he basically goes to the inspector. He had to collect this bounty for this person who is an arsonist who arsoned his family's house, and we had to collect. And so the inspector's like, oh, something doesn't feel quite right. The next thing you know, the person in the bag lifts his head up and looks at somebody else who's standing around, who's dressed up in, like, I guess the officer's uniform. And it turns out, he starts acting suspicious and nervous. The next thing you know, the blind samurai, boom, boom, bang, takes him down. And it turns out he's the actual person he was looking for all that time.
Right.
Which was amazing. And next thing you know, he's still insisting, you know, you need to go help this woman, and the inspector's still saying no. I think he's now nervous, the inspector, because he realizes, just like the bride, that this blind man is not all that he appears to be.
Yeah.
So
good stuff. More bone breaking.
More throat snapping. And next thing you know,
what's up, Jeff? How you doing, man?
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, Blind War is another fun one in that one. That's entertaining. I enjoyed that one. With Andy,
I don't think I've seen
the great
that one.
Andy on, yes. Yeah. And we showed a clip from that at San Diego Comic-Con superhero Kung Fu Extravaganza panel. We showed a clip, and we also showed a clip from Blind Vengeance, when him fighting the Hook Man, and the audience really enjoyed that. So, you know, we got to represent at Comic-Con. Jeff up there says the problem with the villains in these two films is that no one was even on the same level as Chinese Zatoichi. Actually, Hookman had his number.
Oh yeah.
Hookman had his number. Hookman had him beat. He was screwed until he used his smarts out of desperation. But he was done, you know. And, you know, we'll get to the second ending. The second movie's ending in a second. So he's not really around no more, or is he? We'll get to that in a little bit.
Yes.
But
so
yeah, check out Blind War. I enjoyed that one.
It's Blind War. Yeah, I've checked out a few. Like, I recently just got that one with
it's entertaining. It's not on the level of these, but it's entertaining.
Yeah, I got like they do release a handful of these movies on DVD, on Blu-ray over here in the UK. I did manage to get this one recently.
Sakura, cool.
I got Sakura, and I don't know if you've seen this one yet, but I
review that. I haven't reviewed that yet. So.
I was thinking if you wanted, we could do that together. I don't know if you've seen this, but I do think it's highly underrated. It's not Boy Kills World.
Look at that. Boy Kills World.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I really recommend it as well. It's just a fun comedy action movie, but it's the final battle. I'll not spoil it, but he fights like this individual who was like the mastermind of all the things that have transpired in the movie. And there's some great martial arts in the end of the movie.
It's entertaining for sure. And Andrew Koji steals every scene he's in. That guy is so good.
Yeah. Oh, have you seen Boy Kills World?
I have.
Oh, cool! I didn't realize
it's entertaining. It's entertaining. I enjoyed it. I have issues with some of it, but that's another review for another time. but I did find it was entertaining. So.
Jeff didn't like
Sakura. The prosecutor was Mule's better.
oh yeah, that's the latest one with Johnny Yen, isn't it? The prosecutor.
If you're, you know, if you're okay with court dramas, but if you're expecting a nonstop action movie, you might have issues with the prosecutor. But if you're okay with a court drama movie with action scenes thrown in there once in a while, you'll love it.
Yeah,
that's a big warning, because some people are like, dude, what is this? I'm sitting in court for 50% of this movie. What is this? So that's a warning. I loved it. I loved the movie, but I also had a heads up from Frank Jang. He was like, hey, just letting you know, this was originally a court drama movie. And Donnie Yen was like, let's add some action to this. So
sounds like the Joker too.
But no, Boy Kills World, there's a lot to like about it. A lot of personality, great cast, very entertaining.
Yeah. I loved Boy Kills World. Now I do think Bill Skarsgård is underrated. I just think with him, it's the kind of project he's picks either hit or miss.
5,000 times better than The Crow.
Oh Christ! Oh. The Crow was like, I'm surprised I finished it, to be honest.
But anyway, back to Eye for an Eye.
Yes, Yeah, so basically he gets persuaded eventually by the bride to go on this, take her with him. Sorry, to take her with him to like the next town or city he's about to go to. And when he's there, he meets a lady. I forgot the name of the lady. I think it was Nan. I think her name was. They called her Nan. She's basically like his friend or somebody who that he's had a strong relationship with for many years. And there's like this back and forth about him saving money to protect and save his eyes or to cure him of his issues, and she basically helps him with his needs, and through him having like a change of heart, eventually he makes the decision that he's going to revenge the bride's family massacre, and this is where the fun really begins because Nan's like, you should not go after this family. These family are truly dangerous, and if you get in too deep, I don't know if you're going to survive this one. And basically what ends up happening is he persuades Nan to take the bride away. And they go away, and it's during this time that Nan unfortunately meets a grisly end.
Yeah.
And those scenes were heartbreaking in the fact that how she's killed as well. She's basically... The blind samurai goes on like a mission to find out the people behind the massacre, and that leads flash forwards to the scene that were start of the movie at where he's basically undercover in this dingy gambling hall, and these people who he's attacked at the beginning of the movie, they were also there, were at the bride's wedding.
Right.
And he ends up beating the shit out of them, gets some information out of them, actually ties one of them to a chair, and there's like I think it's like a musical instrument with lots of string. He literally ties it around the person's face and head and ties it to the doors of this doorway. And so the Arrow Man, as we like to call them, they've all got names because I'm shit at pronunciation and I don't want to butcher their real names out.
No, I like this. We had Hook Man, and now we got Arrow Man. It works.
Yes. So Arrow Man there. Not Arrow Man from you're not Saruman or anything like that from Lord of the Rings. This is Arrow Man. So Arrow Man, bless him, he is like the main culprit, and what ends up happening is after these gangs are beat up, he actually goes to find the little henchman that was at the wedding, and as he opens the doors, and I love this scene, as he opens the doors, the wire that's wrapped around his neck snaps.
That was great.
It just awesome. Snaps him, and then he's just lying there dead. And then that's when Arrow Man was realized, right, we've got a real assassin on my hands. Yeah, we've got a real guy. And the next thing you know, he's getting like all like properly trained other, martial artists, probably other swordsmen, all these guys, and one amazing woman, by the way.
Yeah,
there is this
she was bad.
Female.
Yeah.
She was badass up to a point. So they basically send them after to find the blind swordsman. And the next thing you know, Nan and the bride, who are hiding in the forest, she basically instructs the bride to go away and to disappear. I know these guys, I know how they operate. They're going to come after me. I'm going to distract them by getting on my horse and driving basically back into the city or towards the city. As she's driving in on her horse, the next thing you know, bang, you just hear like, and you just see the horse coming back on its own, and it's beautiful shot, man. The cinematography in these movies is second to none.
Nuts, especially for something not with a huge budget.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a straight to streaming movie.
Yeah, well,
this is insane how good these movies look.
Yep, and it puts Hollywood to shame, quite frankly. Boring, generic CGI green screen piles of shit, aka The Electric State. 300 million for shit, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I'm going to say.
Jingling the Keys, the movie. Just jingle the keys.
300
look at the pretty things.
Yes,
it.
for shit. That's all I can say about that particular movie.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh, Lee
going
said
back.
here. Lee says here's not every great action film has to be a wall-to-wall spectacle. He's talking
Oh
about
yeah.
The Prosecutor. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I agree with Lee on this. But Lee, you got to remember, not everyone is as patient as we are in terms of like me, Kevin, and you can throw Kevin in here too. We like a good story if it's there, and good character development if it's there, and character arcs if it's there. We appreciate all that, and the action's like
100%.
the cherry on top. But yeah, not everyone. People just like, I just want to see some fucking explosions.
Yes, that's Michael Bay fans. Michael Bay
That's fine too.
fans.
That's fine too. I like schlock. But yeah, that's a good point.
But that's the thing. This has got I wouldn't even say this is fully action packed because it's got a great story about vengeance and justice, and when the action's there, the action's on top notch. But it still has a moving story, and like you said, it's only 70 minutes. But I didn't feel like it was just 70 minutes because the story draws you in, and then it feels like the film's actually a lot longer than it is.
Yeah.
But moving forward, Nana's killed, and you've got that really upsetting shot where there's all the townspeople are looking down, and this Borge is walking past, and there's a body with all the arrows scattered all over it, and heartbreaking. This obviously would got back to the blind swordsman, who's now totally irate. So then he decides, he figures a way to get into into Arrowman and the people's main compound. And that's where it's all out war, basically, ascends.
Yeah.
It's him.
Man, they gave her the Shaw Brothers death treatment.
Yes.
Like my man, shout out to the Fanatical Dragon. He said she got Chang Chade. Like that was brutal. But yeah, what a great finale, man. Good stuff.
So
look at that shot. Jesus.
That's what I'm saying. Like the shot,
man.
when he gets to their combat, it's like on a snowy night, and I just remember when we walk through the gate, and just the slowness of the snow, and the slow motion action shot, and sometimes a fast shot. But the difference is, the one thing you and me can agree, you actually can fucking see what's happening on the screen.
Yes.
It's not like Snake Eyes, your favorite movie of all time.
The greatest martial arts movie of all time. God damn it. Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes.
Yes.
Correct. Yes. The greatest.
Nothing compares to Snake Eyes.
Should have won.
It's better than everything.
Should have won the Oscars for Best Picture. Now, sorry, that's going too far. But
Kevin's like, I can't even play along with. I can't even play along with this. But yeah, beautiful shot. I mean, you can put that shot back up, the finale shot with him standing there. I mean, look at that. You could frame that. When you can pause a movie and a certain shot and frame it on the wall, it's just gorgeous cinematography, man. It's beautiful, especially when the flame starts. It's like, hey, I'm gonna add some flames to this sword and fuck some more people up. That was great.
Yes, just amazing. And this.
How dare you, Lee? How dare you say Snake Eyes was 1.5 out of 5 stars? How dare you, sir? That's it. You are blocked. I am blocking you. Blasphemy. Don't make me grab my stick. All right, this is my back scratcher here. This is my old man back scratcher. Don't make me use this.
Yes, well, 1.5 stars, I think, is too fair. If I'm honest, it's too fair.
Hey, we got some more certified badass channel members here. Omegon 32, good to see you. Yeah. Do you like my old man back scratcher? Pretty good, huh? What's cool about this is that, sometimes, I can catch flies around here.
Ooh, that's awesome. I need
That's it. Next live stream, Kevin. You gotta have thicker accent. It's it.
I don't know how thicker I can go. I can go really thick, or I can go very high.
But yeah,
But
back to the great finale. And you know, after the fight with the female warrior, that was great too. That was a good one-on-one
and
scrap.
unlike in the
Yeah.
final fight with Arrow Man, I kind of knew that was going to happen. Like, for example, he's not really a swordsman. He has no
Right.
real fighting techniques
He's trying to
except with
snipe.
arrow.
He's sniping,
So
yeah.
he's like, and when he got his comeuppance, I was blown away.
Yeah.
Like especially when you had the window scene with the curtain like blown and the snow coming in and out, just
Yeah.
the cinematography just outstanding.
Oh yeah.
So did you want to do spoilers? Did you want to talk
Fuck
about
it.
that little?
We're gonna do
Right?
spoilers. Go for it.
Right. Well, I'll let you talk about it. I'll let you bring it up because
For
you.
for the finale, or are we going straight into the second one? What are we doing?
Well, the finale, then you can maybe talk a bit about the second one at the beginning.
Go ahead and talk about the finale, and then we'll go right into the second. Go ahead. You go. It's your show. You go ahead.
Well, of course, Arrow Man gets killed.
As
And
he should.
then, yes, and then the last shot is him kind of walking in, you see, like the city scene. And it kind of hints, if I'm right, if I've got this right, it hints that he may potentially not be blind at all. If that was, if that's what I got out of it. What did you get out of the end?
They got a little, you could say they got a little artsy fartsy maybe at the end.
Yeah,
You know,
there is a beautiful shot though. This is when they were hinting at that. Where the base,
because it's been a while since I watched the first film.
They've got that.
Yeah.
Where,
Well, his eyes are still, he still looks blind. His eye, you see the color of his eyes. His eyes are white.
But then the other shot, I think it's where he doesn't have the whiteness over his eyes.
Oh, I have see. It's been a while. It's been like 2 years,
So
maybe a
there's
year
like,
since I've seen this.
So I've watched this once and I quickly flashed through it today. So it's basically this it's like is he or isn't he scenario.
That's very similar to Beat Takeshi's Zatoichi movie. Did you watch that movie? Have you seen that, his version of the character?
I've got the box set on order.
Okay.
If there's the original one from way back in the day.
You mean the Criterion Collection?
Yeah, I've got that on
No,
order.
this is Beat Takeshi, who's known for Takeshi's Castle, but he's known for doing Mr. Kitano here. He's known for a lot of gangster movies. Well, he did his own version of Zatoichi, which is like it's a Zatoichi movie, but he did his own like take on it. It's very different. It's pretty entertaining, but there's a shot at the end where he trips and his eyes open up.
Oh,
at the very end of the movie, he's walking, he trips, and then his eyes open up as he falls forward, and then it goes to credits. So were they kind of hinting at something?
Yeah, so that's what, like you say, like when you look at his eyes at the end of the movie, it's like isn't he or isn't he scenario. It's right. Is he blind? Is he not blind? But then you wanted to talk about the thing in the second one.
You mean the finale? Well, we got to get to the plot synopsis and all that stuff. But of course, brought to you by the almighty Will Go USA. You guys can get Eye for an Eye 2 Blind Vengeance on Blu-ray. Just get it off of Amazon and stuff like that. But I was so excited because when I talked about this movie like way back, the first one, I was like, I like Zatoichi. I want like 10 movies. I want like 15. I want a TV series. I want all that. Oh, here you go. Jeff says here, I thought that scene made it clear that he was faking it, especially since we know that Kitano is a huge prankster. Oh, he's talking about the Beat Takeshi one.
Oh, so, right.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. But this one is like even darker than the first one, man. This is like really dark.
I agree.
Go for it. Go ahead and talk
Like
about it.
the beginning of this one, I wanted to just kill somebody. So basically, this starts off like I cannot remember. Did I actually say if this is set before or after? I think it's just a direct continuation.
Yeah.
So this one starts where he basically is. You find where he lives. You find like he's where he lives, and there was one thing I didn't mention when we did the first one. You have another flashback where it shows him in a war. It's where him and Nan are talking, and you see a flashback, and you see him fighting where he isn't blind. It's before he lost his eyesight, which kind of plays into this one, because as he's in his home, there you meet these two kids, and one of them's a female, who basically this is. And by the way, I love the scenery in this. I love his cinematography is amazing.
And also, thank God, it was my pet peeve. Thank God for child actors that can act. I love this little girl. So good. She's so good in this movie.
Yeah, you've literally just
want to cry, man. You make Samurai Guy cry, man. It's bullshit. But it's nice. It's nice to see child actors that can act.
You've literally just took the words out of my mouth. That I cannot stand that you see child actors that cannot act. I hate when I hear that, you've got a well-known franchise and they're going to introduce like a kid character. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ, why me? But
especially for like a serious, dark movie like this, they really have to pull their weight. They don't want them to take you out of it with bad performances, adult or child. So But go and talk about it. What happens, man?
So really a lot happens in the first 10 minutes. So the first, you're introduced to this beautiful little girl with her little brother. You're introduced, he's living in his life once again, loving his wine, loving getting drunk, just having a peaceful time. And these two kids aren't really they're like, I'm assuming they're homeless, or I'm assuming,
starving.
The starving little orphan children who don't have, a lot. They don't have money. They don't have a roof over their head. They're scrambling for food. The next thing you know is it gets to the point where they're stealing to survive, and they're stealing fruit and all this, and they steal from somebody, and things go awry, should we say. They go back to where I guess they're hiding out, or where they found a roof over their head, which is in a similar area to where the blind swordsman's living. And as they're there, suddenly they're hiding out in the back of this room, and in this home there's this young beautiful woman who I guess who cares for these children, who offers them somewhere to stay. And next thing you know, there's a knock at the door and all hell breaks loose. It's these just like the first movie, they're these very scum. These nasty goonies. This guy in this goonie, this bad guy, who, like I said to you before,
we want to grab my old man back scratching stick.
Yes, like I said with the first movie, has the leader, who I'm going to call the bad swordsman.
Okay, so I like that.
We've got the blind swordsman and the bad swordsman. This guy can actually use a sword, and he's pretty good at it. And like I told you, I was very confused because I think he looks exactly like the guy from the first movie. I thought they were twin brothers or something. But what ends up happening, this guy comes in and he attacks this family, and with these two orphan kids there. And, he kills the family but it's the way he kills them. He kills them in such a brutal way. He's got this one particular henchman who's you can just tell is bad to the bone. everyone gets killed. The last person to get killed in this family is the young woman, and it's a wee kills her. You just see these horrendous shots of her getting stabbed like 10 times in the stomach as she's staring out
for no reason, like just some
for
bullshit. It's
yeah
just because they
for
can, just
just
because they can.
it's like
Yeah.
a power play. It's like the show, look,
Mhm. Yeah.
where the big tits of the north kind of thing.
Mhm.
We run the show, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. And this is
Mhm.
how we're going to show you we are the top dog. So she unfortunately gets stabbed a number of times in the stomach.
Yeah.
But as she's getting stabbed, the young girl, orphan girl, is staring out, looking at her, and it's a really like creepy and
And
uncomfortable
she
shot.
was trying to help them too. She was trying to
Yeah,
help her. Yeah.
yeah. There is another shot that this is the shot that really made me want to see him get his end. It's the shot where the little dog runs in,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he literally kicks the dog against the wall, and I think the dog must have like stabbed itself on something on the wall and falls to the floor.
Yeah.
And next, because you do see like a trickle of blood coming out of the back of the dog, and you don't see anything, but you hear the dog yelp out when one of the henchmen goes over and finishes the dog off. Which, soon
Yeah.
as you touch an animal,
Yeah.
I want to take your back structure and I want to use it on them.
Yeah.
I would take your back structure and I would
Yeah.
go to town on
Oh, yeah.
anybody that
Yeah.
would attack
Yeah.
an animal, because
These
I'm a massive animal lover.
Oh, yeah. Well, these
So
villains are checking all the boxes right in the beginning.
yeah,
Like,
the
kill the
thing with
innocent woman,
yeah
kill the dog. Like they're doing it, and then
yeah
they're just gonna keep going.
yeah. So in the first film, you are like emotionally invested in the woman in the events that happened to her. Yes, you like the villains, but the villains that you saw them get the comeuppance, but you didn't really have a strong hatred for them.
Right.
Where in this one,
Yeah. Oh,
because of
yeah.
the events that transpire right at the beginning of this movie, you instantly are
Mhm.
icked by them, and you instantly
Mhm.
want to see the takedown of them,
Mhm.
which is different to the very first movie.
Yeah.
So the dog gets killed, she gets killed. The next thing you know, the younger orphan brother of the orphan girl gets discovered, and it's like they're playing a game. They pick them up, they're leaving the facility, the little townhouse, on horseback, and as they're walking and galloping off on the horses, they've got the kid in their arm, and they start like tossing them around to each other on the horses like a game. They're like playing
Mhm.
like a
Yeah.
basketball, and as the horse gallops up, you don't really see much, but you see him fall to the ground, and you see one of the horses kind of go across.
Yeah.
So you kind of get the picture of what happened, and then his orphan sister comes out, running out of the compound, and looks and sees his unfortunate, body
Yeah.
lifeless on the road, and you just instantly see her in shock and instantly see her break down, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And great
Which,
performance makes it even like get you right here even more. And Lee brought up a good thing here. He says one thing better than a child actor who can act is how well the child actor's part is written.
yeah,
Yes. Well written characters, Kevin? What's that?
precisely.
I never heard of this nonsense.
Yes, that's the one
Yeah.
thing about these films. The characters aren't hollow. It's not just how they're written. It's like, even though we're watching these as well in Chinese, we've got them in subtitle. Even the subtitles are
Mhm.
really well executed
Yeah.
for us to follow and understand. The
Yeah.
dialogue in these movies is really strong dialogue, and it hits you at home, hits you in the heart, and
Yeah.
that's what I love about these particular two films.
Well-written
Uh,
characters, more
yeah,
please.
yeah, because it's like you say, though. I'm glad though I'm watching these with the original, voices with the subtitles, rather than really horrendous dubbing.
Oh
Because
god,
dubbing would probably take you out of it.
it would ruin it, you know.
Yeah. So
No!
yeah.
Why did you do that, you bastard? You know. There's some movies need the bastard, It depends on
Mhm.
the movie, right? You can have some fun with
Yeah.
some old
It's
school
like
bad dubbing, but Like Ricky O, story of Ricky. I will not watch that subtitle. It's so much more entertaining with the bad dubbing. But for serious movies, you know, it's nice to have the option.
It's like all my kaiju movies. I've got them dubbed or undubbed. Sometimes I put the dubbing on because I need a laugh.
A happy
oh
moment.
No, Godzilla's in the beach. You know.
What's up, Brandon? Got Brandon watching. What's going on? Throwing it up. Good to see you.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
So now that now that the villains check the final box there, all in the beginning. Joe, this is what me and Lady Phat say all the time. With foreign films, don't give a fuck. They do not give a shit. No one is safe. Look what happened. The caring, nurturing woman, dead. The dog, dead. The little child, dead. All in the beginning of the movie. They don't give a fuck. Nobody's safe. And that's what I love. I love it. You know?
Yes. The first 10 minutes of this movie, if this was a US film, banned. Banned.
It wouldn't even come to theater. That's why I'm like, I'm curious.
You can't even release this on Blu-ray or DVD because it's too violent. It's bored. It's banned. That's what American people would do, like Western cinema and at all. But
I'm trying to think. What is the name? What is the? There's a couple of remakes that are on the list of foreign movies coming out. Well, not soon, but man. Well, there is. Oh my God, my mind is going blank. The Zombies on the Train Korean film. Oh my God, Train to Busan.
Oh my God, yeah, Train to New York. But that's been in development for nearly 3 years or more now. So that really has me worried.
I'm the director. We like the director who's doing it, but I don't know, man. That ending. No, not to spoil anything too much, but that ending with that one parent character, they're gonna bitch out. They're gonna bitch out when they release that movie over here in the States.
Oh it'll be a happy family ending.
All that, dude.
It'll be a happy family ending. It'll be like Care Bears the movie ending.
Care Bears the movie.
With the Care Bears. Yes, Care Bear. They'll all end up on a cloud and fly up to heaven or something. Bullshit.
But hopefully 28 years later is good though. I'm sorry, we went off on a zombie tangent.
Yeah, definitely.
Hopefully that's good.
Yeah, and the one after it, because there's 2. It's going to be a trilogy.
What? Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you know, but the 28 years later, first film comes out. Then the following year, it's 28 years later. The Bone Temple is the direct sequel.
Wow, that's really ambitious.
Yeah. So
yikes.
The first one, though,
I hope the first one makes money.
Yeah, well,
there'll be no trilogy.
Yeah. The first one's being directed by the original director.
Okay.
Is it Danny Boyd?
Yes.
But the second one isn't being directed by him, but he's wrote it, but he's not directing it.
Okay.
I think it's a French director who's doing the second one.
I didn't know they were doing
But if you've seen the trailer, I know we're going on the tangent, but if you've seen the first trailer for the first film, you'll see a shot of like this scaffolding made of bones. So I'm assuming that's the Bone Temple.
Oh.
So everything I think is leading to that place, but that's just we'll have to see the film.
You know what this is all leading to, right? It's all leading to humans are bad. That's what it's gonna be. All these zombie movies are like the humans are the real monster.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like Walking Dead, the Walking Dead show. It's all gonna lead to that. But as long as it's entertaining, we'll watch.
Yeah, I think it'll lead to it all. Where the ones that created the virus or something like.
Yeah, I mean, come on. It's always look at the Godzilla movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's always our fault fucking with shit.
It pisses Godzilla off and he's got to fuck up a city.
That's it. Or Mothra will come down and fuck up some shit. Yeah, but anyway, back to Eye for an Eye 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Yes, Electric Boogaloo, the sequel. So this ends where, I'll try and get through this plot faster. So what basically happens next is she is devastated with the loss of her brother, and like these people are trying to help her. So once again, just like the very first one, they kept the formula. He comes staggering out of his home, you know, after a good night on the wine. The next thing you know, this trail's like around him, and you know, just trying to talk to him and wants his help. And he's basically like in the first one, ignoring her, wants nothing to do with her. And suddenly he just has a change of heart and decides, I am going to help this poor, young, defenseless girl. And how he's going to do it is not by fighting the battles for her, but he's going to train her.
Right.
And the next, I guess, half of the movie is like all these amazing shots of him teaching her, talking to her. We discover part of his history, and you know, he gets called lieutenant because he was a lieutenant in the war, and all this great battle sequences. And then you also meet the guy who sings. You know, who like befriends them and gives them, you know, helps them move on. And they're also looking for clues to the people behind this massacre of this family that were trying to help these poor two little orphan kids. And it turns out it's like the reveal is it turns out to be a corrupt government official.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of course it is. It's always it's always that. But he was pretty hesitant for a while there.
Very
and she really was trying everything to get him to fight for her, and he was just like not having it. Like it took a while. He just left her. Like she was trying to follow. She's trying to follow him, and he's just like, "Stop following me." Yeah. It took a while for him to kind of slowly come around, and even though he's training her, he still didn't really want her to lead his life.
Yeah.
But then they kind of ended up bonding over that time and working together.
Yeah.
She actually helped him out a couple of times.
Yes. Like especially in the final battle. The final fight with the main villain, the bad swordsman. There's a particular scene that happens there where you think, oh my God, are they going to do something we've never seen where the villain wins? And then something happens with her, and thanks to her, he manages to finally, you know, get the upper hand. Hello, my brother.
Oh, hello. Shit. Sci-Fi Sentry's in the house. Good to see you, brother. Yeah.
Yeah. So
he hated these movies. He likes Snake Eyes better. He just messaged me right now.
I'll tell you what,
why aren't you guys talking about these movies and not Snake Eyes?
You need to check these movies out if you haven't. You will enjoy them. They have heart, they have amazing action, great cinematography, and top-notch action and acting.
And they're both on Blu-ray.
Yes.
Got to represent that physical media while you can.
And if you don't want to buy physical media anymore, because some people don't have the space,
it's digital.
For $3.99, subscribe to HI-YAH. There you go. Like good old Kevin did from the UK.
Yes.
Yes.
But they're bonding now, and it was natural. It didn't feel forced. You know, I definitely got some vibes from the Man from Nowhere vibes a little bit too.
Yes.
That's another great movie.
Definitely. What I liked as well about this is where the first one, it does have a formula and a similar formula where somebody gets, you know, a tragedy happens and he decides to go out and help the event. But for me, the difference between the first one and the second one, the first one, yes, you cared about her family being at and her in the events, etc. But with this one, it had more heart. Generally, as much as I love the first one, I generally had a stronger bond with this little girl. And it's like we've said, it's due to her amazing acting, the story, the dialogue, and the chemistry between him and her. And I generally was drawn in. And don't get us wrong, the first one's great, but this one drew me in more. And like you say, compared to the first one, this had more heart. It had a darker tone to it. In the violence was, the violence in this one. That's what shocked me. 10 minutes in, seeing that poor dog, the woman, the brother, I'm like, you pieces of shit! I can pass me that back structure now, because I'm gonna fuck things up with it. That's how I felt on the moment watching.
What did you think about the action compared to the first one? The action scenes, about the same, or a little bit better, or about the same?
I think the action is a lot stronger in some areas, but I think the cinematography was slightly better in the first, because I can never. Yeah,
a lot of it was at night.
Yes,
a lot of the fights.
Like I love the cinematography. Like I see that the snow scenes where they're fighting in that compound with the snow, the final battle where the villain goes through the curtain, it's blown and the snow flakes are trickling in. Where this one, like you say, because there's a lot more darker shot, and not that you can't see the action, it just doesn't grab us as much as the action from the first, but the action is still very much on point.
Especially when the guy he kind of flips the script, and one of the villains has flaming swords, and he's going after our lead. In the first movie, he had the flaming sword. Now they got a villain using flaming swords on him, which was fun. Oh, what were you going to say about that scene?
So I was just going to do a comparison. So this was a scene from the first one where they're not like outside in the snow. This is the badass samurai chick, the villain from the first one, who did a good showing of coming against him and fighting. But even though that's indoors, that particular scene,
we'll call her swordswoman instead of samurai.
The swordswoman. Seeing her in this particular shot, as you can see, it's nice and clear. The action sequence, it's the shades of lighting, where the second one, it does have darker tones, but you still can very much see the action that's transpiring. But great. So all this leads to him having a change of heart, and this is back and forth, whether the train out or not. I have this, like you say, it takes him a while to come around to it. He does eventually come round to it and decides, I'm going to train this amazing young girl. And basically she goes missing. And basically, just like him, decides, I'm going to go out on my own, and because he's still hesitant to help her. So she basically then goes out on her own.
I'm going to get this dude myself. I learned some skills. I'm going to get this dude myself.
And she basically goes undercover herself. She goes undercover. She basically, the events that happened in the first one, when he went undercover, and that in the flashback scene in that grotty little gambling hall, she basically goes to a similar place, and you've got but yes, they're like having these different games and all that. It's more like torturous games, like Bad Swordsman. He's basically sitting watching at one point these guys, and they're like fighting in this circle, and they're like twisting around, and she's hovering around, looking around, and somebody looks at her feet, and she's got the same like shoes on as the girl or the young boy he was hiding at the beginning of the movie. And that's how he was discovered. So she's kind of making her way around, and when she thinks, she's still kind of like being unnoticed, the Bad Swordman suddenly wraps his arm around her. And he's like, which one of these guys do you think's gonna win? And as they're fighting, and they look very nervous, because I think they both know either way they're screwed. She kind of points at one of them, and the next thing you know, the Bad Swordsman goes over and attacks one of them, and he basically just has like a glass bottle, smashes it on him, and just starts just stabbing him. And it's like, oh shit, this guy is clearly, lost his mind, and that transpires. And then obviously, because she's went missing, the blind swordsman's like, right, I'm going after her. And you see his mission of like trying to find out where she is and going through all this. And then eventually, as just like with the first movie where he invaded the compound and killed the bad guys, little orphan girl, she kind of sneaks in, and bad swordsman sitting there, and she suddenly attacks him out of nowhere. And tries to get in. At first you think, oh my god, she's using the skills. There's something there, but then they do get the upper hand, and she is eventually stopped. And she's then held captive, and I think they're planning on obviously brutally torturing her, and probably going to do some really nasty shit to her. And this is when Blind Swordsman Chen finally comes in, and the action from this point on is top notch.
Oh yeah. Like, you get the flaming swords guy. Good stuff.
Flaming. There's even, was it the flaming? I see, this is where I get confused. Was it the first one or the second one where he had the sword and he cut the little barrel, the little tub with the water in, and it splashed out, and he scraped the sword and screwed it, and it turned the water into flames? I think that was the first one.
Yes, that was the first one. Yeah.
So that was just epic. Like, I absolutely loved that. But with this one's really good as well. Like, some of the fight scenes where they're coming down the stairs and he's like just going, but even though he's fighting them, I think these guys are a lot stronger than the Goonie guys that were in the first one, because he does get weakened a lot in this one. And there's a lot of back and forth where, you think, oh, could this be it?
Because there were so many, and they weren't fucking around. They were coming for this dude. Their boss is watching. Like, hey, I still need a job. We got to kill this motherfucker. But don't forget, before the big finale, you have his character's been very closed off. He doesn't share feelings, or his hopes and dreams, or his past. He doesn't really share that with people. But him bonding with the girl over time and they both getting to like each other is almost like his little daughter or his little sister in a way. He ends up talking about his hometown and how he always wanted to return to his hometown. He left many years ago, and just to be back there and visit and maybe live there. And then at some point they both kind of make the decision to go back to his hometown to visit or live there. And then that's when she sneaks away. She's like, no, I gotta kill this dude, And then you have that scene where he's just like freaking out. And he's on the horse trying to get, and he's like begging for help, for people to help him get to where he needs to go. And he had all that drama leading to the big finale we're talking about. So it's really good stuff. I forgot about that. I forgot to mention that.
I forgot about that, actually, because like you say, we've mentioned the acting, and like I said, it's the heart of the movie is that child. And the fact that like you see in the first one, you don't really know much of his backstory other than the flashback sequences.
Right.
In this one, you get to know him as a person slightly. With the events he's transpiring, the things he's telling you, you get to know a little bit about his history and the town, and the fact she calls him lieutenant, and they've got this bond. And like you say, she's like, well, when this is all over, I'll go back to my town. And next thing you know, like you see, he rushes off after that. And then I think this is from the second movie. You've got this shot here where,
I mean, that's how you do it. This is why we love these kind of movies, man. Just a gorgeous shot, and he's just like, you know what? You're not getting this girl, man. You gotta go through me and my Phat Samurai Guy old man back scratcher.
So she is the back scratcher.
Just one. Yeah, she is. But yeah, great. Good stuff.
That's another reason why I guess he was more weaker in this one. Not weaker, but had more of a distraction, because he's got to keep his eyes on the guys with the swords, but he's got to keep his eyes on her at the same time. And there's things coming at him in all directions. So
He
very,
got
very
he got he
strong
got
stuff.
fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Like after that, especially when he had to go up against bad swordsmen.
Yeah.
I mean, he took some big damage there.
Oh,
So,
definitely. And
yeah.
like you say, Bad Swordsman here, who the final, we'll get to the finale now. So the final is basically, it's just him and the Bad Swordsman. And, they get into like a mini little duel. And, there's this point where the blind swordsman does get kind of the upper hand. And because he gets the upper hand, the bad Tom goes, "Oh, you want a piece of this shit, eh? You really want to go?" Takes his coat off and lowers his lovely long dark black hair, and then the shit really starts getting serious, and to the point where the bad swordsman does start to get the upper hand.
Yeah.
And you think, oh shit, are they gonna? This is what I said before. I was like, shit, are they really gonna do this? Because I'm thinking, are they really gonna kill him off, and then she's gonna turn into like a female, like Jet Li or something, and go fucking crazy on his ass because another one person she cares for is now dead. But luckily, no, like you see, he is losing like the fight until she comes in last minute and grabs the leg of the bad swordsman, which gives him that final kind of oomph to want to go after. And he goes around that guy and slash.
That's it.
And he falls back into like the fireplace behind him, like he and there's like fire and logs behind him burning. So, and
smashing.
then that
smashing,
as we say. We love a log fire burning here in the UK, especially if you've got a bad swordsman burning on it as well.
Yes.
Yes. So then that wraps up basically the villains, and then we'll come to the ending of the movie, which I don't know if you want to talk about it, because I'm a bit like I say, I had to flash through the last few minutes of this.
Yeah. It's hard to talk about it because are we spoiling it for people that want to? I mean, or do you want to minor spoil it? Do you want to just talk about? Is he not? Your opinion? Do you think he is or not? I think he is. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Which is really, really depressing because I wanted more. But is he?
Yes, it's basically it. Put it this way for the audience wanting it. They do a John Wick 4 on.
Right.
They do a John Wick 4 basically. Like, is he or isn't he?
Yeah. Right.
Was he? Is he gone or is he in Hayden? Is what we think?
I think he is. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, if this,
because I at least wanted a trilogy, but if he is, I'm still happy we have both of these movies that we're talking about.
Well, technically, they could still do a trilogy, but make the third one a prequel.
There you go. I like how this man thinks.
Because if you think about it, the first one, you get the flashback of him in the war. The second one, you hear a little bit about his hometown. So they could do it. They could actually do one that's a prequel where at the first half of the movie's got his sight. And then the second half, it could be where he hunts the man who blinded him.
Yeah, I like that. That would be cool.
And then you could the end of that movie could end where he's looking for that man that he was hunting at the beginning of the first one, who was hiding with the sergeant at the police station. And
well, it's like I like that idea. I think that's a great idea. It's like the Rurouni Kenshin movies. The last one that came out was a prequel.
Yeah, well, I found I love those movies, but there's some goodness in it. There is some bits that I thought were a bit iffy, but the first three were great, and then obviously the last two, which I think were exclusive to Netflix and the UK.
Right.
Like I know Netflix in the US, they've taken all of them off, I think, except the ones what exclusive.
really? It's been a while since I've read that.
Yeah. Well,
That
here
sucks.
Netflix in the UK, they're all still available.
Oh, well, that's good. At least you guys
So
had it.
obviously you had, because I know the 2 new ones that they made, which they made together. One was the beginning, and I think one was the final.
Right.
And
And they both came out the same year, which is wild.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I watched, because I know the story of the first one, like not the Netflix one, was where he told the story, he fell in love with a woman and all that. And basically the first one, the beginning, was that entire story.
Right.
And I really loved the beginning.
Yeah.
The final I thought was okay, but I think the second one's my favorite.
Yeah, that was good stuff. And it was bloody too.
Yes.
Because he was kind of more of a daredevil character where he didn't kill in the movies, but unless he had to. But the the prequel was like, no, this is before he became who he was. So I'm taking people out. But anyway, back for iPhone i2. Everybody watching right now, who have seen these movies, let us know in the comments below. Is he or is he not?
I would like to know
John Wick Ford.
Yes. John Wick Ford.
I think he is. But I mean, of course I'm greedy, so I want like 18 of these movies, but I'm still happy we have 2. So,
well, like you see, the Rooney Kenshin films, they did the first 3, then they went back a few years later. So it's a possibility that could be the same for an eye. The Blind
I would take a
Samurai.
series from here.
Yeah.
If they don't want to do any more movies, I would take a series. That would be great.
Oh yeah, like a series of his ventures that led up to this, the first movie.
Yeah. That's just as good. I mean, Zatoichi had a TV show too.
Yeah, I remember the series. And I've seen a handful of the episodes of the series, and I thought it was just as good as the film series. But that's
but these are smashing films, and Kevin, great pick today, man. Great pick.
Yes,
great discussion is what we love doing.
Yes. Like we say, like my good friend, That Phat Samurai Guy, aka Preston Downey. If you want to own them and you live over there in the good old USA, they are available on physical media by We Go USA. If you don't have the space to buy them, do what I did and subscribe to HI-YAH. It's only $3.99. It's not going to break the bank. I've got a hell of a lot of films on my list that I've ticked off that I'm going to be watching over the next few weeks.
And that TV series, A Fist Within Four Walls, I think that's what it was called. Rick talked about that in last Action Film Autopsy. He was gushing over it. I finally saw the trailer for it on HI-YAH. It looks really good. It's a series, and I mean the fights and everything look like I need to watch this. I think it's A Fist Within Four Walls. Looks really good, man.
Well, so I do it. Yeah, I have started a new series called Television Chronicles, where I pick a certain series.
Yeah,
and we'll just talk about the season. I don't do like episode to episode. That was an idea, but I thought it's
hard.
Work.
It's hard.
So
I tried to do series reviews. It's hard.
So I do know I have spoke to your lovely lady, Lady Fatblood, and she is interested in doing the Daredevil Born Again series with me. So
you're gonna do okay, cool.
So we've talked about it, but obviously, it's like me and you, my schedule, your schedule.
It's hard. We were lucky to do this today.
Yes, I know.
But hey, we made it happen.
Yes, and I'm very appreciated
for the genre, son. That's right.
Absolutely.
Hold on, I got an itch. I got an itch back here. Let me get it. There you go.
Well, if you do ever want to do a review of this one, I'm more.
I'll hit you up. I'll hit you up. Yeah.
I'm really, because I know your friend didn't like it, but I thought it was decent. It does have issues, but it's Donnie Yen.
I know. Well, it's entertaining. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, this has been a blast.
Before we end it, do a little fighting pose. Go ahead. All right, and I'll just do this. There you go. You got your thumbnail.
Yes.
But
But
yeah, thanks again for having me on the show,
yes,
brother. I appreciate it.
yes. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you'd like to mention coming to your channel in the near future?
Let's see. I have not scheduled it yet, but speaking of badassity and you know, there's no ninjas in here, but speaking of badass ninjas and assassins, I'm going to be hanging out this Monday. I think either 5 or 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm not sure yet. Join me this coming Monday. I'm going to be hanging out with martial arts family royalty. I'm going to be hanging out with Shane Kasugi. Yes, we're going to be talking about his indie flick starring Kane Kasugi and many others called Seek. Are there ninjas in it? Are there assassins in it? Well, you got to tune in to find out. We're going to I'm going to premiere the trailer and we're going to talk about it. So Shane Kasugi, son of Sho Kasugi, hang out with us this Monday. So
yeah, well, you heard it, yeah. If I can watch it live, I'll watch it. If I can't, I'll definitely watch the repeat on YouTube, good old YouTube. As for me in the entertainment headquarters, tonight I'm doing another live. I'm doing a retro classic movie show, and I'm going to be joined by my co-host DJ Anubis, Sci-Fi Century, and we're going to be going down the dark fantasy route because we're going to be reviewing 1985's Legend with Tim Curry and Tom Cruise and Mia Sara. And on Tuesday coming up, I'm going to be doing the next on DJ Anubis's channel, Cinematic Synergy, and we're going to be talking about Mimic. The film Mimic. I've never seen it for years, and it's something I wanted to revisit, and we're going to do it on his channel. And later on that night, I did start a brand new segment on my channel called Education. So Education is where I educate myself on genres and entertainment or franchises I don't have much knowledge of. The first one was on Gundam.
Oh, nice.
And the second one is with Sci-Fi Century, and he's going to be educating me on Spawn. So that is the next one coming up on the entertainment headquarters.
Below to the entertainment headquarters. A lot of cool, awesome stuff coming up as usual. But yeah, funny Mimic story before we go. Me and my buddies saw Mimic in theater when it came out. And all I remember from the I think for the most part, I thought it was a fun creature feature movie, but I only seen it once. I never revisited it. Now you're making me want to revisit it now, Kevin. So let's get my thoughts on it now. But my friend, the cranky critic, we're walking in. This is opening day. Opening day, this movie came out, and it had it in the smallest theater. They didn't have any confidence at all. They had it way in the back, the smallest theater. And we're like, what the hell? It should be up here in the front with the big sound or whatever. It's way back here. So we go through there. As soon as we walk in, there's only maybe like 5 people in there. As soon as we walk in, my buddy.
That would have been more than The Crow.
Probably. Well, no, it's way better than The Crow. It's not even in comparison. The Crow remake, reboot, whatever the fuck. As soon as we walk in, my buddy walks straight up to the screen and he turns around and goes, "Oh my God, you can hear the speakers hissing." and all you hear is, and then we all started laughing. The 4 other people in the theater were laughing. He was like, "Oh my God, this is so ghetto." Yeah, they didn't give a fuck about Mimic when it came out. Poor Mimic. But hey, I know it's got its fans. I mean, it had some sequels, and I have not seen the sequels. So
I think, but it shows you it mustn't have been that good because I can't remember, but I do think I've seen at least the sequel, the second one.
No good.
I just
bad, huh?
Like I say, me memory is very fuzzy.
The Species sequels, maybe.
Oh, the Species. I'm surprised the second one even got to theaters.
Yeah. Well, they made like 2 more after that straight to
Yes,
video,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh my
yeah, they
goodness.
did. And if you
You
see that,
should review all the Species movies.
well, I could potentially do that on the Into the Darkness
Yeah,
segment.
there you go. Yeah.
The next Into the Darkness segment I'm doing, which is when I do them, I do horror franchises. The next horror franchise, haven't set the date for it. It's going to be Wreck.
Oh, okay.
So me and Anubis and Anthony Jordan of Anthony Jordan's movies in gaming and Mr. Tony the Dead. That's our segment on my channel.
You'll have fun with those.
Yeah. I've seen up to it was either the third one with a wedding.
Yes.
I know that there's a fourth one.
I think I seen a little bit. I can speak in English. Yeah, I went up to 4. I think there's only 4. There's only 4. Yeah, there's only 4.
I haven't. Well, that's the one I mustn't have seen. I haven't seen the last one. I've seen the one with the wedding. Was that in my memory? That's the last one I remember. But
the first one blew me away, though.
Oh, definitely.
Because I watched it the way you're supposed to, and it was no hype. Didn't even know the movie existed. Never saw a trailer. Watched it in its original language with subtitles. And a buddy of mine let me borrow the DVD. He was like, "You got to watch this. It's good." I'm like, "Oh, what the hell is this?" Wreck. We put it in, and we're like, "Oh, it's another found footage type movie, huh?" We had no idea what we were about to watch. It was freaky and creepy, especially at the end, man. Like we were dude. And that was one of we watched it with the lights out and the sound up, and it was so nice to be pleasantly surprised and not have 5 billion trailers and 5 billion TV spots.
Yeah.
You know,
believe it or not, that's how I discovered Train to Busan.
Oh, nice.
Train to Busan must have, that's a little story time for me. Basically, it must have been out for a while. I had heard the name of a couple of friends, but I had never seen it. Yeah. I think by that point, I was just sick of zombies. Like
we all were. We were all zombied out.
You know, I was just no more. And then literally Channel 4, which is a terrestrial channel here in, you know, like a Freeview channel here in the UK. It was like I finished work, I sat down, it was like 10 p.m. at night. My parents had gone to bed. I was sitting and I was just scouring through the channels, and then it said coming up next, Train to Busan, the new smash hit zombie movie. And I thought, oh, another one. Yeah. But then I actually clicked on the description, and every description had like 5 stars. Yeah. And I had heard people talk about it, and I literally sat there like yourself, turned the living room lights out. It was late night. I had just finished, so I had a cup of tea like an old man. Like, you know, old man with
your back scratcher.
Yes, with a blanket around us, sitting there freezing with my cup of tea, and it hit. And guess what? It wasn't dubbed. It was still. It was in. It had the
original
subtitles and
nice.
That film ended, and I sat back, and I just, wow. And then straight away that week, I ordered it on Blu-ray, and I kept talking to my mother about it because my mom's a big zombie fan. My mom's
hell yeah, nice.
My mother is fucking horror mad,
dude. That's
she loves horror, and she's got all of the Walking Dead, and like that's the only thing she decided to keep zombie wise because like everyone else is zombied out.
Yeah.
So I bought it on Blu-ray, and me and her watch it the second time, and my mom sat back like that, and I'm thinking, looking at her, did you enjoy it? And she just went, fuck yeah, that's what you call a zombie movie. I was
best mom ever.
My mother does not swear. My mother is very pleasant, very quiet. But so when she swears, if it's very good, it's really good. But anyway,
speaking of ninjas, I like black shadows around me. Annie, she's around there doing something. But yeah, man, thanks for having me here. This was great.
Yeah,
and until next time.
Yes, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Like we say, there's more coming on the Entertainment Headquarters real soon. This has been me and Phat Samurai Guy. This has been Eye for an Eye review special, and we'll catch us all at the next one. Take care, everybody.